For more detailed analysis of your project's progress, broken down all the way to the lowest level of WBS, you can go into progress and then track. Here we have every single level of your project in the WBS structure, and you can just open them out by clicking on the arrows to see how they are tracking versus the assigned baseline. So in this case, the assigned baseline is V3, and we can see how each level, from the top level of the project to the level 1 WBSs to the level 2s and then the level 3s even, are tracking versus the baseline on the left hand side. On the right hand side, we have the list of activities. Again, as you go down the different levels of your project, they update to correspond to where you are within your project, and you can see the activities in terms of the progress status, the activity ID and name, the current finish and start dates, the duration, and the total float. And you can even click on the little burger icon and then add extra columns like WBS match, the current start date difference, the current finish date difference, the baseline start date, and the baseline end date there as well if you should want to do so. And then you can download all of that as an export. Again, depending on where you are within your project, all of these, for example, when I click on preliminaries, the activity list changes. And if you go down the levels, again, the activity list changes automatically. On top of that, what we have are some progress KPIs that we, again, automatically load for any level of your WBS. So right now I am on the list of activities for the preliminaries level 1 WBS. I can see it is 37% behind what I planned on the baseline, and I want to identify where those delays are being driven from. So what I can do is I can open up preliminaries into the level 1s and level 2s, and I can see, for example, here that ITPs are one of the most delayed sub WBSs within here. So if I click on that and expand it out, I can see that LUL acceptance has a bunch of activities which have quite a bit of delay. So for example, here we can see the variance versus the baseline in red of 104 days with a total float of just 88, showing me that these activities being delayed is going to have a significant effect on the project. And also we can see a couple of them have been actualized pretty delayed as well. So in that way, I can export that and I can send it to the relevant parties using the cloud button. And then we have these progress KPIs, as I mentioned, progress versus over time of the baseline and the baseline plan. Now, this is very similar to what you see. I'm just going to go to the top level. What you see on the home page at the project level, but now just by clicking on any level of your project, you can get the S-curves with the baseline plan versus the actuals and the forecast for your project at any level of your project. So if you need to communicate to a certain stakeholder about how the S-curve is going in one particular part of your project, it's all automatically generated as you traverse through your project wherever you need it to be. The second one is activities per day here. So I'm in construction and I can see what my baseline plan was and what I'm actually delivering, which is not as much as I planned, and then what I'm forecast in the future. So we can see a big spike there, which is bigger than any of the activity that we've already completed. So that might be something for us to delve deeper into. Then we have schedule compression. So we can see the schedule compression on the plan versus the baseline. And then we have performance index. So I'm just going to go to the top here and we can see how many activities we plan to do and how many we're actually delivering. So we can see since the 7th of August 2016, there has been a downward trend in terms of how many activities we are delivering versus plan. And finally, weeks behind, which shows the accumulation of delay over all of your activities. And we can see that's trending in the wrong direction there overall for the project. But again, all of these graphics automatically and dynamically, I should say, update wherever you are in the project, which makes it really easy for you to communicate visually what's going on without having to create graphs for every single part of your project. The other great thing about this screen is that we're currently looking at a WBS structure, but we can also look at any activity code structure and get this data in by any activity code that you have set within your P6 XER file or any other file that you're using in here. So if I click on CBS, for example, we can see that it has loaded the CBS structure. So here we have earthwork, structural systems, etc., and how they are trending versus the baseline plan. We get the same graphics in here, but in a different way. So it just makes it so easy for you to look at your activities and report on your activities in the way that makes sense for your project, and to visually represent those uh, progress updates really easily without having to do any manual work whatsoever. And this can be weighted by duration or activity count as on the home page.